Yesterday, the Supreme Court heard a case regarding absentee ballots that, if it rules against the state of Mississippi, could significantly disrupt this year's midterm elections and really throw thousands of polling places and thousands of voting jurisdictions into chaos. Hi, my name is Brian Kennedy. I'm the mayor of Glendale, Wisconsin, president of Democratic Municipal Officials, and a member of the DNC. Follow me for local government and Democratic Party content. You'd be hard-pressed to find many states that are as reliably red as Mississippi. But the state of Mississippi actually has a law regarding its absentee ballots that they have to be postmarked by Election Day, but they can be received up to 5 days after the election. Seems reasonable. You voted on time. It just took the post office a few days to get your ballot there. There are many states that have similar kinds of laws. Some states, they have to be postmarked by Election Day, but they be received by Friday of that week. There are other states that give a little bit more leeway, maybe a week or two after the election, as long as they were postmarked by Election Day. The rule here, though, is that there's an election day that is named in the Constitution for federal elections, and you have to vote by that day. And many states have said you voted by that day as long as you turned it into the post office. Well, the Republican Party actually sued the state of Mississippi to overturn this law and to say that the ballots have to be received by Election Day and that all the counting has to be done by the end of Election Day. If you look at the questions that the justices asked in the hearing yesterday, it appears that some of the more conservative ones are likely to overturn this Mississippi law. And if they do, they should not make it effective immediately. They should make it effective after the November elections. And here's why. We have states that are already in the middle of holding primaries. Voters are already accustomed to specific processes, and consistency is incredibly important. When you change processes in the middle of an election cycle, or you move polling places in the middle of an election cycle, you confuse voters. Any ruling they make on this is not going to come out for probably at least a couple of months. That means we're getting closer and closer to Election Day. When you throw all these changes at voters, right as they're in the middle of voting in primaries and as they're gearing up for a general election, you create an incredible amount of confusion. In my home state of Wisconsin, we've had a number of changes to election laws, and typically they take effect within a number of months. So you give time to be able to train the clerks, and for the clerks then to train their election workers, their chief election inspectors, their poll workers, so that everybody is up to speed on what the new process is and what the new rules are. And I think that the U.S. Supreme Court should do the same. If it looks like this particular conservative court is going to overturn that law, they should do so effective January 1st of 2027. That would then give clerks time to be able to develop new processes, new policies, to be able to train their workers. But doing it right in the middle of an election is really just throwing an incredible amount of chaos on the process.